Hi guys, welcome back to this, which is the third retrospective look back at the Call of Duty series before Black Ops is released in just over a week now. So I'm going to let this intro to Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare play out, and then I'll resume talking in a few seconds.
Our so-called leaders prostituted us to the West, destroyed our culture, our economies, our honor.
U.S. Marines stationed on high alert were given the order to invade the small
Nikolai! Foreman said the crews are at Harry.
Just as they lay waste to our country, we shall lay waste to theirs.
You think this will stop the bloodshed?
Вы все равно скоро сдохнете.
We need to take him alive.
So there we are, pretty kind of action-packed intro, which is very indicative, I think, of the way Call of Duty 4 plays out. You know, it's a really in-your-face arcade experience. And I do stress that it is arcade, because a lot of people kind of, you know, they compare it to games like Battlefield Bad Company 2, or Medal of Honor, I guess, you know, and those kind of games, and then people are surprised once they play them, and it's completely different. Well, of course it's different, because this is more of an arcade approach. Medal of Honor, Bad Company, all that kind of stuff, it's very much, you know, strategic, tactical, take your time, hide behind cover, whereas this you can just go out and just fire from the hip and yeah, all the rest of it. It is obviously difficult when you put it on the veteran levels. I'll probably touch upon more of that later on. But this is Warpig level. Off the top of my head, should have wrote this down I guess, but I think it's maybe what, the third or fourth mission in. And for anyone who thinks it looks kind of familiar to a multiplayer level, well it is. Because the multiplayer level, if anyone remembers, is called the Bog, and but it takes place at night, whereas this obviously takes place during the day, and the map is obviously extended. On the Bog level, the multiplayer level is kind of closed off a little bit. There's restrictions to where you can go, understandably, I guess. And there's a few little changes here and there on the map, but generally, I mean, it is the same map. It's the Bog essentially. But like I say, this one's called Warpig. Now I've put the difficulty level on easy, like I always like to do when I'm doing these retrospective games, because otherwise it will not make good viewing at all. It will just be me getting shot like every 5 seconds, swearing probably, and that can't be great viewing. So yeah, I just thought I'd put it on easy level and just go through maybe 2 or 3 different missions, I think. Not in their entirety, but just 2 or 3 segments of various missions. Now I briefly touched upon it in the multiplayer video for Modern Warfare, but I only really got into this because a friend of mine was very much into Halo, and then one night he just said, yesterday I got a new game that came out. I said, what was it? He said Modern Warfare 4. Sorry, well yeah, he was having a bit of a premonition. No, it was Modern Warfare, the first one, and I've never heard of it, so I went out and got it literally the next day, and just been addicted ever since. It's just a great experience, and even though it's 3 years old, definitely still holds up. And, well, I'll lay my cards on the table straight away. Well, I say straight away, you know, 2 or 3 minutes into the video. This is my favourite Call of Duty game, period. You know, there's nothing that compares to this. Nothing. It's arguably, and I know it might sound a little bit silly because it's a very recent game still, 2007. It's arguably my favourite game of all time, at least on this current gen systems that we've got. I just found everything about it great. The single-player game was amazing. It was the story was very engrossing, very captivating. But the multiplayer is just immense, the greatest experience ever, and in my opinion, remains the greatest experience ever. Despite obviously Modern Warfare 2 coming out, but I guess we'll touch upon that later, or when I do a feature on Modern Warfare 2 at least. But everything about it was great. The difficulty level was just perfect for me. Now, obviously, you get four choices of difficulty level. Now, personally, I always put it on Veteran. Because, I mean, this is easy, but I'm just doing it on easy just for the sake of the video. So I can blitz through it a little bit. But I always put it on Veteran because you always get the best experience. And I always think you get the best value for money. Because otherwise, if you start to get... And this is what I used to do going back a few years. I'd buy a game, I'd put it on easy, whether it was a first-person shooter or not. You know, and I'd just blitz through it, obviously, because it wouldn't be very difficult. And then I'd complete it, and then I'd find I wouldn't go back to it because I knew the ending, I knew what happened, and there wasn't a real incentive to go back and complete the game on Veteran. It wasn't really worth it, and I wasn't really like an achievement whore. You know, it didn't really bother me. I kind of am now, which is a bit silly. You know, I like to get them achievement points where possible. Not the end of the world, obviously, if I don't get them, but I do like to get them. But like I say, I always put it on Veteran. And what I liked about the Veteran mode is, I guess it stands to reason, but the difficulty was very difficult, as you can imagine. There's a couple of levels in particular, one with the Ferris wheel on. I had immense difficulty completing that one. I think a pack of dogs come out as well, and it was just hard work. And also the Mile High Club. The Mile High Club on Veteran was very, very hard. It took me probably about, I don't know, I didn't count obviously, but 30, 35, maybe more attempts. It was infuriating. But you know, like anything else, you get a rhythm, you get a routine, some kind of strategy, and then it becomes pretty easy. And I've since done it, you know, 2 or 3 more times since. So it's not difficult. But if anyone out there is struggling, you know, I guess on any game, quite frankly, you can just YouTube it and people are there with guides and walkthroughs. But at least give it a try first, you know, several times. Because there's no point buying a game and then just, you know, using like a cheat mode or a guide to complete it. You know, you've paid the money. You should enjoy it. And it's only if you're really, really infuriated and stuck, then you can resort to using some kind of cheat or guide. So, I don't quite know why I had this kind of extended bit of footage here. It's not gameplay. It's pretty boring, really. I guess I just didn't edit it very well. But I did kind of want to keep it in. It doesn't look amazing, but I thought it was kind of cool how in a minute, I don't know who it is, I guess we'll soon find out. Yeah, I went to the wrong fence there. He pulls out this little spray. Here we go. Gaz. Pulls out the spray. And then kind of shakes the fence. I don't know why I kind of found that impressive. But I did. It just looks really good. And then typically I kind of, for some reason, turn away when I'm talking about it. But yeah, I really like that. The attention to detail is great. And it's just kind of funny how, again, so here we are talking about Modern Warfare 2 again, but I don't know how a series can take such a backward step in quality. Now, don't get me wrong, Modern Warfare 2 is a very good game, but I just think expectations were so high because this was so immense, and it was always really going to disappoint. Particularly like the call signs and things for me on Modern Warfare 2, sorry, in multiplayer, really immature, you know, like really silly little titles and things, and I don't know what market they were going for. I think I said in the online video, I think I said that my kind of impressions are that Modern Warfare was just aimed at a bit of a mature audience, whereas Modern Warfare 2, it's gone for like the immature gamer out there. That's how I kind of view it, really. And I think that stands to reason, because also the amount of noob tubes which go around on Modern Warfare 2, it doesn't really happen on this game. You know, it hasn't really got that, I don't know, it just doesn't really exist. It's definitely a Modern Warfare 2 phenomenon, I think. But anyway, so this is kind of funny. Guy gets taken out there, and in a minute he fires another rocket over, and he fires it at the car. And for a split second I'm thinking, oh, that's alright, he got the car. And then I thought, oh, Jesus, I better run quick, because obviously that car in a few seconds is going to explode. And lo and behold, it does. So you've always got to be aware of your surroundings, you know, because people will shoot cars and then chuck a grenade and then everything will explode around you. But yeah, not sure what this level is. I think it said at the beginning, but I completely forgot. But as you can see, I'm just taking out a few people with their sniper rifles. You know, a favourite pastime of mine. Sniper shooting. I should put it on my CV, really, when applying for jobs. Expert sniper at Call of Duty. That'll get me any job in the world. Not. So, yeah, I think this is probably the end of the clip here, and then I move on to something else. Because I remember just shooting this guy up here once, and then again, and then it cutting off. Yeah, here we are. So this is a level where you've got to rescue Let's say you've got a rescue. I mean, the guy in the blue tracksuit, you can probably see my sights there. I didn't shoot him because you can't shoot him. If you shoot him right now, the mission ends. You've got to kind of let him escape to a certain point. He's a bad guy, but you've got to keep him alive, you know? But at the end of the level, he shoots himself anyway. I don't think that's any spoiler I've just given out there. I'm sure everyone's played this game by now. But and if you haven't played the game, by the time you do get it, you'll have forgotten that I said that. So there he is, like you can see. Completely forgot his name. Zakov, I think it is. So yeah, just don't shoot him because you will have to start the mission again or from the last checkpoint. So again, it looks kind of silly because I'm going around all the corners. You're taking a lot of damage, but it is on the easy level. A couple of dogs here pitching up. Just pop them off. Help my old teammate there. Grig's getting almost eaten by a dog. Wasn't for me. So like I said, I'm taking a lot of damage, but it is on easy level. I keep wanting to reiterate that because I just feel it makes more entertaining viewing, if you like. Because if it's on veteran, I'm hiding behind corners, I'm taking my time, and I probably don't even get halfway through a level and the 15 minutes of the video, or however long, is up. So if that was on veteran, I'd be screwed there. Completely screwed. But as it happens, it's just easy to take them all out. Chuck a flashbang in. I tried to stab the pair of them here. The other one turned around pretty quickly. But again, doesn't matter. So as you'll be aware, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was made by Infinity Ward. The same guys who were responsible for Call of Duty 2. With Treyarch obviously doing Call of Duty 3. And then World at War, which I'm going to feature in the next video. And then Modern Warfare. And then these gaming retrospective things will be over. I can put it to bed. I thought it'd be a great idea to start off with, and then you do a couple and you think, oh Christ, I've got another 3 to go yet. I can't be bothered doing this. But, you know, it's kind of fun. But I am looking forward to getting back to the, you know, normality. Bit of a pickups video, I think, is long overdue. And I've got a few stuff anyway, so, yeah, I'll do one too. But anyway, personally, I guess, again, it comes down to opinion, but I'm a, I forgot what you call them, and so much of a fan, I forgot. Infinity Ward fan. Definitely, you know, when I compare like Call of Duty 3 and World at War, they're very gritty, they're very dark. I can appreciate them for what they are, but they're just inferior to the experience of Call of Duty, the ones that are made by Infinity Ward. You know, but like I say, I'm not like, I'm not a kid, I don't take sides to the point of being childish about it. But, you know, just playing it as a gamer, it just seems as if the better experience, the more effort, the more thought, you know, goes into Infinity Ward's games. Particularly online. You know, Call of Duty 3 online is just a mess. It really was. There's aspects of it which was kind of interesting. For anyone who hasn't seen it, you know, feel free to check out the video that I did. Don't expect the greatest video of all time, obviously, but, you know, it'll give you a little bit of an inclination as to what it's about. But, yeah, I just get the feeling with Infinity Ward kind of comes quality. You know, they really put their minds into it. In saying that, you know, I do feel they made a bit of a mess up of Modern Warfare 2. By all accounts, maybe listen to the community a little bit too much, which is always a mistake because your community really is going to be made up, certainly the voice of the community is going to be made up by kids, quite frankly. And if you listen to kids, you're going to get childish elements to a game. Again, no disrespect to anyone of a certain age who's watching this, but you know what I mean. You know, there's certain things which a mature gamer wants, which a kid wouldn't want, and vice versa. It's kind of striking the balance. So, I mean, I guess some people can turn around and go, well, the balance has been struck. Modern Warfare is for the mature gamer, Modern Warfare 2 is for the slightly immature gamer. And when I say immature, I don't mean any disrespect by that. I just really mean in terms of age and a sense of obvious, you know, maturity as you get older. So, but yeah. So I've definitely found myself going back to Modern Warfare. Although when World at War came out, I was very much addicted to that. And I've gone back to that, actually, World at War lately as well. But yeah, for a long period of time, to use a bit of a Tony Blairism, you know, it was just constant Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare. There'll be 99% of people haven't got a clue what I was talking about there. But for the 1% of people who did understand that little bit, then, well, I guess it wasn't worth it. But I'm not editing out because I can't be bothered. So anyway, guys, I think this video's coming to an end now. So it's been a real pleasure going back to Call of Duty 4. I've actually, as a result of doing this video, went back to it online and really appreciated it. I'm kind of into it again. So like I say, give me a couple of days and I'll have the World at War video up. And then maybe a day or two on from that, I'll have the Modern Warfare 2 one up. And then the whole retrospective series will be done just before Black Ops is released, which is pretty good timing. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll have a pickups video as well next couple of days. So if you've got any comments, PMs, the usual, just go ahead and leave them. And thanks for watching. Take care. See you later.